I'm Kat, an independent midwife from Wales. Welcome to the Mother of All podcasts, where nothing is off the table of discussion. If it leaks, cries, swears, screams, goes up but doesn't stay up, we're talking about it. Time to get raw and real. Your no BS guide to pregnancy, preconception, birth, adolescence, wet dreams, wet in the bed, coming home pissed. Who knows? Whatever. We're just going to talk about it. Life in parenting doesn't come with a manual. Well, not a decent one anyway. So let's just create a podcast. Welcome to the Mother of All podcasts. I don't even know where that comes from.
That's good. That's good.
That's not even in it.
That's good.
Welcome to Mother of All podcasts. Just introduce yourself. Don't worry about looking at the camera. Just look at me and my gormless face.
Beautiful. My name is Leighton Bailey. I'm from a lovely little place called Nantiglow. Where I was from, it was called the Quaker, but a lot of people know me from here, but I moved to the Winches as I was growing up. But I wanted to come and tell my story because I'm part of a group now called You're Not Alone, and they've helped tremendously, like, you know what I mean? So, and it ain't just me, obviously there's others as well, to say. So for me to be able to tell my side of the story and the things that have happened to me, and to be where I am now in the group, if I can just help somebody, you know what I mean, they can relate to my story, you know what I mean, even come and have a chat to me, because you know, I am approachable, you know what I mean, I don't bite, not all the time anyway, but you know, if they want to come and have a chat to me about it, then I'm open about anything now, like as much as I possibly can.
So the group's called You Are Not Alone.
Yeah.
And is it just men?
Yeah, it is men, yeah. Personally, I'd like there to be one for women as well, like, because obviously, but that's just me, like, you know what I mean? I know there is women groups out there, like,
loads.
you know what I mean? So, I mean, whether there's something similar, I really don't know. Like, they've always been this for me, you know what I mean?
How did you hear about it?
Well, it kind of come around, it must have been about a year or two ago. I knew the person who started the group off.
Okay.
His name is Jordan, but then he kind of left the group.
Okay.
I don't know what happened like with him, but he left the group, and that had always been in the back of my mind about this group. I never actually took the step to go there.
Okay.
But a few things happened over the years, and like, it was like my brother, you know, he a few things happened to him, and he had a chat to me, and then he opened up and stuff. So I wanted to take me and him, because obviously I knew I needed it, you know what I mean, as well. But I think for me, he needed a little teeny bit more.
So you both go together?
Yeah, so we both go together.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
So when do you meet? Once a week?
Yeah, tonight, in fact.
Okay.
There's a meeting tonight now, and we have a little get together, and they have a chat, like, you know what I mean. Some new members come, you know what I mean. We have loads of discussions, coffee and biscuits and what have you, like, you know what I mean. It's like a mother's meeting, it is more than anything. but it's great, like, for people to get out of their shell. Then, you know what I mean, not everybody do straight away when they first come.
Course.
You know what I mean, they're a bit, you know what I mean, tucked in and like, I don't know what to say, you know, because I was the same, to be honest. So yeah, for that aspect of it is absolutely brilliant. I mean, it ain't just like the meetings.
Yes.
They do like cold water dips.
Fantastic.
So they do that like on a Wednesday and a Saturday. They do a big walk in on a Sunday. On the Friday, well, tomorrow now, they do, is a local cafe, Sue's Cafe is called, where we all go there for a meeting and have a breakfast. And so, like, if nobody come the night before, they could come there and still have another chat. And yeah, you know, these are the things that, I mean, with World, you know, Mental Health Day and, you know, month and stuff, it does help, like, you know what I mean? Because, like I said, it helped me. So
What
yeah.
made you think that? So what was your awakening moment that you thought, oh, I need to go and get help or go and speak to someone, join a mental health group?
Well, I mean, I wrote, things happened like from a young age, like with me, like with my parents and I, like they never got on, and at a very young age, I could have only been about 4 or 5, might have been younger than that, I'm not sure, but um, my father and my mum never got on. My dad used to beat my mum and stuff.
Okay.
So like all our siblings, we grew up seeing all that, and then one minute my mother was here, next minute, boom, my mum was gone.
Gone.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So she had to go to like one of
Like
them
a safe
yeah,
house?
like something like that.
And what
But
happened with you?
well, we stayed at home. My dad had to give up his job because he was working in the steel works and that. So he gave up his job, fair play to him, like, you know what I mean, to look after his 4 children. I mean, all the family chipped in. So like we were, my dad, he used to like going out for drinks and stuff like that. So we we'd be passed from pillar to post. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know what I mean? Me personally, like I got really close to my auntie, and and my grandchild. They were like the
Parents.
two. Yeah, they were like focal figures in my life, right? You know what I mean? Growing up, as I was growing up through school and they were always there like for a laugh, a joke, and you know what I mean. Times that if I felt a bit sad, I'd go up see my grandchild and put a smile on my face, like, you know what I mean, and come out with his jokes, because like he fought in the war and stuff, and you know what I mean. He done all different things. He did. He loved his boxing, rugby, and he
So
wanted me.
always had a story to tell.
So he always had these stories to tell. Like, so that's why I used to love it. Like, you know what I mean, and I always felt safe there. You know, with my nan and my grandson, and like I said, I grew really close to my auntie. She was more than like a mother figure for me,
Yeah.
because where my mum had to go away from us, you know what I mean? It was hard then, not having that mother figure in our life. So like we kind of like my younger sister, she like got herself attached to my other auntie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she
Yeah,
was
you always need that maternal.
she was always there. Like, you know what I mean? I was always there with my auntie, and then my brother and my other sister like was like here with my nan, and you know what I mean? We was always around it, but it was always family orientated
Yeah,
all the
you
time.
always
Like,
had a
so
unit. Was your dad abusive towards you?
yeah, he was like he. The funny thing is though, right? Even though he used to like beat us, and 'cause I remember man having belt across my arse, and
Oh my God.
you know what I mean, and everything. Like I remember I was that afraid sometimes. Like even when I went outside, I remember once I kicked the ball and I smashed the window. I mean, it was on accident, like, you know what I mean. I run, I gone, I hid, and it took next door neighbour to come and find me to bring me back. Like, but what they didn't know is what my dad
were
would
gonna-
do
yeah.
when they go. So that's what I was afraid of, like, more than anything. And luckily enough, that day he did not give me hiding, like. But you know what I mean. I had a few through the years, like, you know what I mean.
And your sisters and your brother the
Yeah,
same?
they had the same. I think it was me, my brother, and more than my sisters. Like, you know what I mean, because we were the boys of the family, and you know it was just, I don't know, it become the norm, man. Like, and like when if he'd go out drinking and you know what I mean, that's when he'd come back,
Yeah.
and he'd always start then, like, you know what I mean. But we just grew used to it, like, you know what I mean. But like growing up, you know what I mean.
When did you first realise that it wasn't the norm?
I'd say when, let me think now. I know I was in my teenage years. It might have been a bit older.
And you were still living with him?
Yeah, I up until 18, 19, before I met my partner. Like, yeah, it was about then. Like, I remember, but like it might have been I might have been a little bit older.
So you
like,
met, are you still with your partner?
Yeah.
Oh,
My wife
amazing.
now, we've been together now 30 years. So
Aw.
yeah, you know.
And did she know? Like, did you speak to her
Yeah,
about
she
it?
knew. She knew that you know, she knew a lot of things about. I told her everything, like, you know what I mean, and she could probably tell you better than me, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I told her about everything that happened. And I remember I was home, and he come home one night, lah, and he was pissed, and he come home and he wanted to
Poke.
start a fight
Yeah.
then, right? So like he kept on going and going, and now like building up over the years, like of everything that he done, like, you know what I mean. I lost it.
You
like,
lost it.
and I punched him, I hit him up against the wall, and I just seen him sliding down the wall, and I just put a boot in, and I just went mad.
Was that the last time that he ever laid a finger
Yeah.
on you? Yeah.
But like, it didn't. I was so evil, right? I didn't know what
I
come
wouldn't
over
say
me.
evil, angry.
Yeah,
and
but
frustrated.
it felt like I was evil, because like he was at the bottom of the stairs, and I grabbed him under the throat, and I
Yeah.
threw him halfway up the stairs. Like, you know, I had that much anger, intense, everything all come out in that one moment, and I was like, look, if I don't go from you now, I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill you. Like, so I had to go, but then I was crying my eyes out then, because he was upstairs in the sink, bent over the sink, like bleeding and
You
everything.
still love him. He's your dad.
Of
Is
course,
that
I still love him.
mixed
I'll always love my
emotions?
father. Like, he's my dad. Like, you know what I mean? So there's no things about that. You know what I mean? But I was absolutely livid, and I was devastated myself, and for what I'd done to him. Like, you know what I mean? Because my old man was getting on then as well. Like, you know what I mean? He was, what was he, 50 something, and you know what I mean? And I was like,
Do you
what
think
the fuck
your
did I do that for?
actions have affected you more than his? So, like, do you think that action
Yeah, I
has
think so.
affected you more
I
than
really
what
do
he
think
did?
so. Because
That means you're a decent person, though.
growing up, the thing is, right, if I just go back a bit, like I said, growing up, my auntie was like a mother figure to me, right? And when I lost her, when when I was 11,
Oh, wow.
um,
Sorry, how old were you when your mum left, did you say?
I think it must have been about five,
So that's
6
like
maybe.
2 maternal figures in the
And
space
it
of
was,
10 years.
and that's it, like, you know what I mean? But like I said, once she my auntie Musha, that's in Maureen her name was, right, but we always call her Musha, right? But she died of brain hemorrhage, and she was only 36 when she died, like, so, you know, she was really, really young, and like she was with my uncle Bryn, and like they always used to take me, and sometimes my cousin Mark used to take us to Devon and that on holidays and stuff. So, you know what I mean? But this is how I got really close to her, like, you know what I mean? And I always used, when she had her own place, and I used to go there, stay there then, and everything, like, so I really built up a big bond with her, like, you know what I mean? And like when she passed away, like, I was absolutely devastated, and the thing is, like, trying to get over that, going to school and everything, like, you know what I mean, through the year then, year after them, the big influence that was in my life as well, my grandson, he passed away then, of cancer, just a year after. And I was like, look, I got two big holes now that's left now, you know what I mean? And I just don't know what to do with myself at the age of 11, like, you know what I mean? 11, 12 I was. But we had a family friend then, look, that we always used to go to, he always said, oh, well, come, I'll take, you know, we'll go like horse trekking, and, you know, we'll do things like that to try and take your mind off things, and, you know, and stuff like.
Did they all know what was going on in your house?
Oh, yeah, people knew, like, that my auntie knew, and everything, and most people knew, not so much outsiders, but
Yeah.
family and all, like, they knew what my dad was like, you know what I mean, how nasty he can be, and stuff like that. But like I said, we just
Put up with it.
put up with it, got on with it, and I gotta be honest, mind, I think with the family, with all us kids now today, I think it did, even though it was a bad thing, like it happened, we grew up respecting, like you should do now these days. You know, you should respect your elders.
Yeah.
You should open door for people. You should say please, thank you. It don't cost nothing. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I can never get through my head when people don't, and like I'm waiting for people to come through, and I wave and they don't, and I'm like, why? I don't get it. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like going back, like I said, we had our family friend, a friend of the family, like that everybody knew, because we used to borrow with his daughters lot. Well, like I said, he started taking us on trips and all. Well, we didn't know nothing about his past or anything at the time. But from the age of 11, at my most vulnerable, up until I was about 16, he abused me.
Oh my God.
And it wasn't just me, he done it to a few others. And like I said, it was like my that's why me and my brother had go to the thing now, because after a
Did
while,
he abuse your brother?
yeah, it come out. I didn't know until not so long ago, like my brother, like, but that brought me at it then, like, you know what I mean.
When you found out
When
about
I
your
found
brother?
out, yeah, about my brother as well, like, because he was only 8, like, you know what I mean.
Oh my God.
So you know, it was hard, like, you know what I mean, to think that that was happening to
And
my
how
brother.
old were you?
Me, I was 11.
So you're the big brother.
Yeah, well, I supposed to protect. I try, like, you know what I mean. But I mean, I can't do everything as much as I would absolutely love to. But the thing is, like, through school, from the age of 11 to 16, some people made up assumptions then about this person, right?
The person that abused
The
you.
person that, and I mean, obviously not just me. It was others. But at the time, I didn't know. Like, through school, I was getting bullied because of it. They were calling me gay. They were calling me this and that, like, you know what I mean. And as much as it was killing me inside, I thought these people were my friends in school, and obviously it turned out that they wasn't. Then, like, you know what I mean, they can't be, because they wouldn't treat somebody like I wouldn't expect to treat anyone like that, like, you know what I mean. But for to go through all that abuse and still come out of it at the end, like, all right, not so good, but I still had my head up, and my chin up, and I just kept on going and going and going up until, like I said, I left my house. Must have been about 19, and I moved in with my partner, and who's my wife now. We got some, lovely kids and that. But I think it must have been about the age of 21, 22, something like that. It was that we had a knock on the door. No, I didn't know who it was at the time, but it was a CID.
Had you
And
told your wife
I told my wife about the abuse.
when you met her?
Yeah.
Okay.
But obviously she didn't know into the detail of it, like, of how bad it was, like, and the things that he used to, not just to me, but everybody, um, like I said, the police, well, CID come knocking on my door, and they mentioned his name. Have you ever done anything to you? I just broke down in front of him, like, you know what I mean? I felt such a weight lifted off my shoulder, you know what I mean? And I just broke down. I said, yeah, he did, you know what I mean? And then obviously they took me to the police station, and I had to give statements. They explained to me how they found out about him, what he'd done, because I found out that he tried to rape a young girl, and that's how she got away from him, and then
And
that's how
how it
that's
come
how it all
out.
come out. But it wasn't just that; it was other things that he'd done when he used to be a lifeguard, like, you know what I mean. So
Position of power.
this is the thing, like, you know what I mean, and he had that power, and the thing is, with my family trusting in his person, you know what I mean.
Did you tell anyone in your family?
Not straight away. Like, obviously we got back. We was all in contact as we was growing up with my mum again and everything. Like, so at the age of, must have been, I'm sure it was about 22, something like that. Might have been 23. I took an overdose. I tried to kill myself. I thought, I can't deal with this in my head no more now. I said, everybody now is gonna know that what this man done to me, and not just that, like, I don't want people then to think bad of me, and, like, you know what I mean, the character and the person that I am, like, because that's not who I am. But you know what I mean, even though, like, getting bullied through school, missed out on loads of opportunities in school. I mean, I had like 2 teachers in school, well, 3 really, that was really, really good to me, and I keep in
Yeah.
contact now with one. And you know, they don't realise how much, even though they didn't do a lot,
They helped.
they helped me through the school and through everything, like. But like I said, when it come out and I tried to kill myself, and I kind of like, I come out to the hospital, and I felt a bit I don't know, it wasn't a relief because I thought I didn't want to be here no more.
Yeah.
But it was in a way because I thought, look,
It's out.
it's out now, and I got my beautiful family. They know, you know, my mom said to him in the ambulance, like, I mean, I was in and out. I was like, I don't know what the heck, what was going on with me. Like, I was just in and out of consciousness, and I just heard my mom saying, oh, he was abused when he was younger, and I like, but you know, trying to get over that. And I thought, yeah, this is going, you know, this is a point now in my life where I can kind of like move on, and but the depression and everything just hit me for six, and I didn't know where to turn. I didn't like I didn't have, not so much help, but I was seeing like a psychiatrist. I was seeing counselling. You know, I there was loads of things that I was doing like and.
Didn't feel like
No,
any of it was
it
helping.
didn't. I thought, to be honest with you, even though I was taking, like, you go to the doctors, oh, you are, there's some meds. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. But that ain't the root of the problem, like, you know what I
No.
mean? I need to get deep inside my head, like, because I was always putting it to the back
Oh, yeah.
all the time, putting it to the back of my head, like, and I put it to the back of my head so much, I ended up, one night on my birthday, me and my brother went out and I went wild. You know what I mean? I went absolutely fucking mental with a machete. I went crazy, I did.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I went fucking mad. And it all came out to me.
And did you know about your brother at that point?
No, I don't know nothing. You know what I mean? We were still...
But did he knew about you?
Yeah, he knew about me. He knew, because I was like 23 and like, you know what I mean? And he knew, like... But like, I went absolutely mad outside the pub, like, and, you know, like, I thought I was going to end up killing somebody with a machete, but luckily my brother tried to grab it off me and that.
Can you remember all of that, or was it
I
like
can remember
a black
bits
mist?
of it. Like, it was crazy because some of it, like, is there, and some of it ain't. Like, it like fucked off somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know where, but it was kind of in the moment. It was one of them things where you felt this. If this don't come out now, then I'm just gonna absolutely explode.
I'm going to kill someone, basically.
But that's exactly what
Yeah.
happened, and you know, I did end up in prison for it. I was looking at 5 to 6 years.
Wow.
But I had, because of my mental state, everything that had happened, how it all come out, and everything, I just done 8 months in prison. And
Did that help?
I don't think it did, to be honest with you.
No.
I really don't think it did. It was hard work being closed up, like, you know what I
Solitary
mean, and
confinement.
and not being able to go anywhere. But I was glad I had a job in there and on the gardens, so I was being able to get out and about and all, like, so that did help. But as for my head, all I'd done was just put it at the back of my head again. You know what I mean? I can still remember now when I went into counselling, the lady said, she said, look, she said, see you, Leighton, you my fucking time bomb waiting to go kaboom.
Was this counselling in prison?
No, this was counselling before I ended up doing that.
So,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? And I knew something wasn't right in my head. Like, as much as I, you know, I thought it was, you know, looking on the outside, he got a big smile, and he's, yeah, he's all right, man, laughing a joke, he'll tell you, you know what I mean? You know, we'll go and call him, and like the boys used to do when I was younger. Yeah, he'd tell jokes.
It's classic, though, isn't
yeah,
it?
but it's always that front. You know what I mean? Like I said, now I'm more open about it, and this is the reason why I wanna, like, if my story can help people, you know what I mean, or even just, like I said, come in contact with me, have a chat, have a cup of coffee and Asda's in Brimo, whatever. I don't care.
So what changed?
I think it was the fact that I done that, ended up in prison. It didn't do a lot for me. I come out of prison. I remember when I come out of prison, my uncle was there waiting for me at the gate, like, and he gave me a big surprise. Like, he said, "Oh, look what I bought us," like, and Bon Jovi tickets, like, to go and see him. It was in the July end, like, you know what I mean? So, cause I love Bon Jovi, like, and yeah, so I was chuffed to bits with that, like, but what had happened, a couple of years down the line then, I was 28, but like, I was still really active, playing football, which I loved, and everything. me and my wife, we got married in the June, 25th of June. The 4th of December, I remember it like it was yesterday, 4th of December, Sunday, I was playing football. I finished 90 minutes of football, ready to go home and have a shower and that, and I started feeling strange. I was like, what the heck's going on here? It was like I had really bad indigestion. I was like, fucking, this ain't right, this ain't like. But I got home, I said to my wife, I said, I don't feel right, like, you know what I mean? I can have a lie down, like. But I couldn't lie down, I couldn't sit still, I couldn't stay still, nothing. I was going from bed to bed, so I was going from my bed to my son's bed to my other son. I was just going from bed hopping, like, all around the beds. And, like, afternoon, night time come, and I couldn't breathe. I was like, what the fuck? I said, I don't know what's going on, yeah. She said, right, I'm going to go and see my mum. So my wife went out to see her mum, and if we went better, you know what I mean, I'm going to phone ambulance. Well, I phoned, I don't know what fucking number it was, but I was on the phone to some lady. I couldn't even string a sentence together. I couldn't even talk to her. You know what I mean? It was that bad. Like
Because you couldn't breathe? Or?
No, I couldn't get out what I was trying to. She was asking me these questions. What what do you feel like this? Nah, are you sweaty? I was sweaty and everything. My mother-in-law, she come over. She see me. She said, "That's it." She said, "Put that down, fucking ambulance now, straight away." Within that time, she'd come from her house, which is just opposite to me. I gone white. I was white.
Down.
Yeah, I white. I was sweating buckets. The ambulance come. They took me in. They said, "You have an heart attack," like, and I could see it then because my heart rate was like going 40 something down to 40 odd, up to 200 odd, back down to 40 odd, and they managed to get me in the hospital, like, done all the all the stuff that they didn't normally do, like, and they said to me, I always remember now, they say, look, like, when you go home, right, you want to thank your mother-in-law, because if she didn't come over and you didn't win when you did, you wouldn't be alive now. You know what I mean? And that was a couple of hours after. So I was like, when everybody went home, I was in the hospital and I broke down. I was crying my eyes out, like, thinking, look, I remember years ago, I wanted to die. I tried to take my own life. This time, I could have died. I didn't want to die, but I could have died.
Divine intervention.
Yeah. So it was kind of like I had all these emotions then running around in my head, and I was like, fuck, like, man. You know what I mean? And I just couldn't believe it, like, how much was just going round and round and round, everything. But, like, I had to go to Cardiff, and they took me down there. I had to have stent fitted and bits and bobs, like, but they said I couldn't play football again, which was another blow to me, and I wasn't allowed to do any contact sport and stuff like that, and I didn't do nothing for the first 5 years, because I was shitting myself every time, like, every time I
afraid that it would happen again.
Every time I was only going outside, like, I thought, right, I gotta get out now, get out the house and start walking, do something, like, you know what I mean? And I thought, fuck, right, this is it. Come on now, positive mindset now. Let's go. Like, 5 years after it passed, I said, look, I can't take this no more. You know what I mean? I thought, right, I said, the only way I'm going to do this now and get my mind into this right mindset is if I just go out, just get into a job, get myself active, doing stuff, keep my mind busy. So that's what I done. And I just kept on doing that over the years, like, you know what I mean? It must have been, I think it was 2000. So I had the heart attack 2005. 2009, May 2009, we were all chilling. I was chilling in my house and that, and then it come in, my dad been rushed into hospital. So we went down to hospital. I was the first one there, and I got in, and they come and said to me, sorry, but he's gone, like.
How did you feel?
Fucking broke my heart, like. I absolutely broke my heart, like. I really did, like, I collapsed on the floor. So
for, like, people listening, who haven't been in a situation like you, I think some people will find it hard, the amount of love that you've got for, I'm going to cry, make it all about me, for the amount of love that you've got for your parents after what they did. Yeah. Where does that come from? I think it's kind of,
kind of myself, resilience, kind of, you know, it's like, I kind of like taught myself, because I had to, because growing up, like, you know, and I was the oldest, so I, I used to go down, we had a Rayburn, like, you know what I mean, I used to go down, I'd go in the coal court, gather coal, I'd make a fire, this was like, I was about 5, so I'd be making a fire to make sure, like, that my siblings in, so if they come down ready, you know, to get ready for
They'd
school,
be warm.
they'd be nice and warm. But I also had, when I was a bit younger, I had, before school, I had 2 paper rounds. So, like, I used to do that. And then on the weekend, I used to help on the milk rounds. So, I always like to try and keep myself motivated, keep myself busy. You know what I mean? Like, these are things that some of these boys who used to pick on me and everything, they don't know.
They didn't know
And
what was
like,
going on
and
at
the thing
home.
is, with these bullies and stuff, like, and I absolutely hate bullies, like, you know what I mean, because of what happened to me growing up. But you know, there was a reason why I never done anything, because if I did, I'd be afraid of what it was I would do.
Yeah.
And that was the thing I was more afraid of than anything. And like,
It's how you would behave.
And after, like, when I got older, like I said, and that all come out, and I done that with a machete and ended up in prison, it could have been a hell of a lot worse. But I'm just grateful that it wasn't. I could move on from that. And like, obviously I had the heart attack and stuff like that, you know what I mean? That, I think you asked, you know what I mean?
What was the turning
What was the
point?
turning
Yeah.
point? I think that was it. And I knew then, like, that, look, I gotta find out for myself now how to chill out a bit, like, you know what I mean? So that's what I've done. I calmed right down. And like I said, in 2009, then, when we lost our dad, you know, I broke all our hearts, like, you know what I mean? Because he, even though growing up and what he done, in my head, I tried to turn that negative into a positive of, yeah, he used to hammer us and beat us and everything, but we wouldn't be the people we are today because of all this.
That's such
As
mental
bad,
strength.
yeah, as bad as it was, you know what I mean? Like, growing up, I'd still, like, I'd at my neighbours every Wednesday. I can remember I used to take their rubbish down from, you know what I mean? And if it was, we had, back then, we had snow in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I clear all the paths, all their steps, and you know what I mean, making sure that everything was all right, so it makes nobody fall. And because, you know, it was like next door, it was like an Uncle Ken, then we had Auntie Vida next door.
All aunts,
you know what I mean?
uncles.
It was aunties and uncles, even though they were nothing to do with us. But that's how we, you know, we were always brought up saying, like, you know, in
Did you ever speak to your dad about how he treated you?
I think he knew after I hit him, after that time, like.
Was there like an unspoken?
Yeah, it was like, it was always, and it was crazy, like, because even though that had happened, and like I said, I was absolutely devastated that I'd done it, and it took all that for it to do, you know, for me to actually do that to him, like, that after a while, even though, like, he still tried to thing his authority,
Yeah.
he'd look at me, but he knew.
He never hit you again?
No, I'd only have to look at him, and, like, and I'd be, you know, Dad, calm down now. You know what I mean?
So when did you, like, have a relationship with your mum? Because I know you said she left.
Yeah,
Did you
she
have
had
any?
to leave. Mum had to leave, like, you know what I mean? There was no doubt about that, like, she did try, I remember when we were younger growing up, she did try and get an house close, and I know my mum and dad did get back together.
Did they?
Yeah, after a while, and then obviously it didn't, obviously that was it, like, it didn't work at all, like, you know what I mean? So then my mum met somebody else, and, like, and she'd been with him ever since, like. But it was when my mum was, you know, on her own, she did try and get a house, and we was going to live with her and that. But to be honest with you, I can't, with everything that was going on in my head at the time, I can't even remember what had happened to that house, like. I remember, you know, who we lived next to.
Yeah.
I remember doing my bedroom, you know, because I wanted to do things myself.
Yeah.
My own bedroom. Fuck, I painted the window black. I was crazy, but I don't know why I done that. Like, I just did. I just didn't want to. I don't know. Maybe it was just a thing. I don't want the sunlight coming in.
Sunlight,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? I don't know what it was. Like, I just went crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Just doing silly things. But yeah, with our mom, like, you know, we talked and everything. You know, everything's all right now. Like.
Have you spoken to her about life at home? when she left?
No, I don't think we have, like, I really don't think we have. My mother's an hard, stubborn woman, and I think all of them had to be growing up through, like, through the 70s and all that. Like,
Yeah, it was quite the norm.
it was back then, like, you know what I mean, with the men and the
Doesn't
women.
mean
And,
it's acceptable,
oh no,
but it was the norm.
100% not.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean. I'd never think of anything like that. Like, you know what I mean. You know. And I said that to my boys, like, you know what I mean. And well, they know anyway.
I was
like, you know
going to
what I
say,
mean?
do your kids know?
Yeah, they know. Yeah, they know a lot of things. Like, you know what I mean.
So you never really spoke to your mum or your dad about how
My
you were
my
treated?
mum, I told her, like, years after about the abuse and everything. I think that was like before I tried to take my own life. But it was like, it just like went over her head, sort of thing.
She wasn't well enough to accept
I
it
don't know.
herself.
I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I mean, that's something that my mum would have to tell me. But from to saying about what Dad used to do, I think Mum knew anyway, because she still used to come and visit and I to the house. I can still remember that. Like, but you know, it was just like I said, we just got on with it. Like,
There's not many people that would sit here with so much grace as you. So, were you ever at a point where you were like bitter about it? I know, like, you know, you said you were violent and you ended up in prison, but bitter towards your mum and dad?
not towards I can't say, like, I think it was like a cry in my head with my mum to, like, say I love you and stuff. You know what I mean? Because she'd never ever said that, like, and Mum had never. Do you know, like, when I try and catch my mum, like, it's like as if she's like holding back a bit, like, you know what I mean? But that's just the way she had been brought up, the way she had been, you know what I mean? And like with me, like with my kids, you know what I mean? I don't give a shit. Like, I love you, you know what I mean? Because I don't know, I could go out that door and something could happen to me and I might not ever come back in through that door. So at least the last thing that my kids know is I love them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know they love me. So I always instilled that into my kids straight away, you know what I mean? And I do it now with my grandkids, and same as my brother and my sisters and they, you know, they all know, like, we love you, and you know what I mean, and everything, like, you know what I mean? So I mean, it'd go a long way, like, you know what I mean? And just trying to be, not to be emotional and stuff, but you know
That's
what I mean?
okay.
Yeah, it's okay. No, I mean I can be emotional, but you know, through the years, like, I tried to be hard and thing to myself, like, but the thing is, like I said, you know, now I go to this group and like, you know what I mean, all the emotions now and everything come out. You don't need to be kept in the dark with yourself. You don't need to, you know, hide these feelings in and thinking, fuck, men got to be tough.
Well, as you know, it hasn't done you any favours, has it?
None whatsoever. Because, like I say, you go at the back of your head and then all of a sudden when it comes out, fucking God help the anarchy that will happen after it. Like,
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And am I happy about it? At the time, I was glad it came out.
Yeah, you felt good.
And I
In a
felt really
weird
good.
way,
But
yeah.
now, looking back, and I was thinking, what a fucking stupid thing to do. Like, you know what I mean? That ain't even you. That's nowhere near you.
Can you not forgive yourself?
I
'Cause there's a
do.
reason.
I do forgive, but I just can't forget.
Yeah.
Same as, like, the
You're
abuse.
very hard on yourself.
I don't know if I think he's dead now, but I mean, I've tried my hardest to forgive to a certain extent, but I will never, ever, ever forget. Never. You know what I mean? That's one thing I can't do, like, you know what I mean? And the sad thing is, like, you know, with his children and we all grew up together, like.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? So it was hard, like, and like I still see his children now. Oh, obviously adults now. We all, you know what I mean? I'm 48 now, like, you know what I mean? So they're close to me now. So, but, you know, that part of it have never been any problem at all. It was just him, you know what I mean? And it's just a shame, like, you know what I mean? Because they are lovely, you know, all his family, the rest is, you know, all lovely, like, you know, his ex-wife and everything, like, you know what I mean? I still speak to her now, like, you know what I mean?
I think you're a rare person to, like,
I wouldn't say that, though, see?
have so much grace. in your life when
never,
all of that's happened
I never
to you?
thanked myself. You know what I mean? When I tried to be as honest and as straight as I possibly can. Sometimes, all right. I've had to, as I was growing up, I had to make myself a bit tougher. You know what I mean? Thinking, look, you can't let people walk over you like they used to. Like, you can't do these things no more. Because otherwise, you'll just be back down in our hole again. Like, and I ain't doing it. I just cannot do it at all. But, you know, like, not, you know, it's crazy. Like, because after, like I said, when I had my heart attack,
Mm.
you know, how scared I was.
Of
And,
dying?
dying and everything. You know what I mean? And then building myself back up, you know what I mean? Thinking to myself, look, right, you've been knocked down. Now, the only way now is back up.
Mm.
Well, like, it's crazy, like, because then in May this year, I had 2 strokes.
Oh my God.
So that kind of knocked me down again. And, like, I thought, fuck this, man. I ain't going back in it. That's it. That's it. Head back. And that's why, like, I'm glad that I am in this group. Because, like, the boys and talking, like, we're talking to my brother and it have helped, like, you know what I mean? Just getting that back out of it again. Not trying to dig myself back into the hole, like, because I never ever want to go back there again, like, you know what I mean? Because that's the worst place anybody could ever be. And like I said, if people can, you know, if I can help somebody just have a little chat or watch a video, you know, of this and help them about how I've overcome all the stuff that I've overcome over the years. You know what I mean? Like I said to you before, I could write a book if I wanted to about my life, and I think it'd be a pretty good seller. Like,
Be a
you know what I mean?
bestseller.
You know what I mean? So, but like, as you know, to get into this, I first started walking, but you know, like I said, we lost our dad went in 2009. A couple of years after that, then, um, we lost our nephew then, and he was 16. He took his own life. So that was hard for
Is
us.
that your
as
brother's son?
No, my sister's son. And like, I was there. I remember I was there at the hospital, like, and they were going to turn the machines off because he would, you know, his brain had gone, like, it was too late, like. And I remember outside, I broke down, like, I started crying, and my wife was going, you know, why you know, I know why you're crying, like, but, you know, you right? I said, no, I'm not. I said, I'm just crying because we just lost our calm.
No.
I said, I'm crying, I said, as well, because I'm the oldest brother, and my sister is up in our room up there, and she's heartbroken, just losing her son, and there's absolutely nothing I
Nothing you
can
can
do for her.
do.
Nothing at all. You know what I mean? I want to protect my
Everyone around you, by the sounds of
I
it.
want to, but I know I can't. I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? And that hurt me more than absolutely anything. You know what I mean? Nobody could hurt me more than that. So that was the biggest thing, and like, that's what got me into walking more than anything, because we was going to do a walk for our calm, and I couldn't do it at that time. So then I thought, right then, I couldn't do that to raise money for our calm now for all these for mental health now. So I done it for myself then, and first of all I done Snowdon. I helped. I was walking with this boy Michael, good friend of mine. He carried a fridge on his back up. He did.
Wow.
And I walked with him, and yeah, what was it? He done it for what he was doing, mountains for mental health, and that basically the fridge is you carrying your burden.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what it was representing.
Wow.
Like. So he done that, and he offered me to come with him, because obviously he knew about my story with my nephew, and I said yeah. So we done that, and to be honest with you, I haven't stopped walking since. I haven't, like, because I've done Scaffold Pike, I've done Ben Nevis. You know what I mean? I've done loads of mountains. I've done most of the beacons, even though there's hundreds more to do.
Yeah.
So this is what you know, but plus I done it for charity, like, you know what I mean, for what was it, for campaign against living miserably. I raised a few quid for them, like, but this year, me, my brother, and a couple of others from the group, we decided, like, because obviously they give us, you know what I mean, like, my brother had counselling and that.
Through the group?
Yeah, through the group.
Wow.
So we decided then, collectively, right, and what we'll do a walk and we'll raise money to give back to the group, so then that can go towards helping others
Someone
that might
else,
need it, like, you know
yeah.
what I mean? Because there's always people that need it, and I know now that they've got the money there to help for counselling, pay for it and that. I mean, we only raised £900
Oh,
like,
that's
but,
amazing.
you know, for us, like, in a day, I don't think we done too bad.
You're just normal men
Well,
trying to raise
we,
money.
we walked 3 mountains in our day, like, so,
Wow.
you know what I mean? We done what was it, Abergavenny 3 Peaks. So, what was it, Sugarloaf, Skirrid and Blodinge. So, yeah, you know what I mean? This is like now kind of like the positive outcome of
Shit.
all the fucking shit that I've had to go through all in my life. Ups and downs, didn't want to be here, then wanted to be here, didn't think I was
Think
going to
you're
be
gonna
here.
be here.
And, you know what I mean? Then my dad passed away, and then all of that, like, and then, like, obviously with our calm, that hit us hard as a family, that did, like, I gotta be honest. You know, but like I said, you know, we get knocked down and we just keep on going. We just go up and up and up, you know what I mean? No matter what, like. And
So are you having any therapy right now other than this group?
no.
Really broad question, but do you feel like healed?
It's, I think my healing, for me personally, comes with helping others. So if I can help, so like I said, this is the reason why I decided to do this podcasting today, because I think if I can spread the word, look, you are not alone in this world, you ain't. So if I can do it, you can do it. You know what I mean? I've been through fucking hell. You know what I mean? I have, like, you know what I mean? Not many people around my area know about any of this. And
You're so brave.
so for me now to do that and to come out and say, and like I said, if it can help these people, whoever I don't care if my inbox is full, you know what I mean? I know if I can, by answering them, saying, look, yeah, I'm you know what I mean? Come and have a chat, you know what I mean? Then I will do it, like, you know what I mean? Because that was helping me. That was getting me over things, you know what I mean? Because it's giving me a perspective in life
And
now
a
to think,
reason.
yeah, you know, I've got a reason to live. I got my family and everything and everybody around me. I'm full of love. I don't need anything else, any material things, money. Love is my most important thing, like, you know what I mean? But for me to give back to everybody else, like, that's where I'd go to a group, you know what I mean? If I can help somebody in there, like, you know what I mean? A little chat or whatever.
Do you feel like you've got a purpose?
I do feel like I got a purpose. I still don't think I know exactly what our purpose is at this particular time, like, but
I think you've just said it.
yeah, well, I mean, there probably is that, like, but I mean, is there more to my life, like, you know what I mean?
Always.
Is there more that I you know, I need to do for people? And because I always wanted to start my own podcast about mental health and stuff, you know what I mean? And have people come in who viewed what I happened to me and stuff like that, like, you know what I mean? Maybe that would be a goal, you know, in the future, but for now, like, I'm happy enough, like, doing this group, doing the walks, then doing the dips, and I can't do the dips, but fucking hell, man.
It's
I
not
couldn't
your
do
bag,
it.
is it?
Oh,
Cold water
well,
swimming.
with the bad heart and everything,
Yeah,
like,
of
you know, that's a bit of a
course.
worry, like, you know what I mean? I don't want to go under and then not come back up, like, you know what I mean? But you never know, maybe, the funny thing is, all right, I will have a cold shower. I will.
There's no waves in a shower.
Not all the time. No, that's right. They bombard anyway every second as well, like, you know what I mean? But I mean, I gotta give it up to them, like, how they do it. You know what I mean? Big up to them, all of them, like, that they just jump straight to anybody, whoever to do it, like these
It
cold
is meant
water
to be
dips.
amazing. My husband does it. I used to, but I couldn't anymore.
When I done my big walks, like when the big mountains and if there's like a stream at the bottom,
Yeah.
I normally I'll take my socks and my shoes off and just rest my legs down in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just for the muscles, like, you know what I mean? But I couldn't get right in
It's
it.
the waves.
I couldn't get in there. Oh no, definitely not. Whew.
As you talk about your family so lovely.
Yeah.
Has what you've been through ever affected your marriage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Through the years, yeah, I gotta be honest, I was horrible twat. I was like, not like to the extent that my dad was with my
Yeah.
mum. That's something that was instilled in my head. That
Not to be like that.
I would never, ever, ever do that. I probably fucked that head up, I expect, over the years. And my head was fucked, so I didn't know what you know what I mean? I knew what things that I was doing, but maybe sometimes I just couldn't help myself, like, you know what I mean? And not really understanding and realising what it was that I was doing to my wife, like, and, you know what I mean? Like, I think mainly up here, up in the head, like, with my wife.
Yeah.
And, yeah, you know, so for that,
Why do you think you've made it?
I think is resilience from both of us. I think that she understands how stupid and silly things that happened and that I had done and I realised that myself, and like, you know, it is horrible. It is to look back and think about it, like that, the things that I could have done different, but then I had to look back and I'm like, I don't know if I could do that different. You know, these things, some of these things are in your path for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I thought about things that happened. I like, not the abuse and all, like, you know what I mean? Because that's no
you
reason
can't
at
think,
all.
no.
But like my heart attack and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Trying to kill myself.
Like many wake-up calls.
Yeah, it been loads through the years, like, you know what I mean? And that's the thing that have always been in my head. And like, with my wife, like, you know, she's 100%, like, she's a rock, she is, like, you know what I mean? And
obviously
stubborn as fuck, like, but she's a rock.
One of you has to be.
Well, oh man. And the thing is now, my 8-year-old daughter is turning out just like her, like, so I got 2 of them in the house with me now.
How many kids have you got?
I got 5 altogether.
Has it affected your relationship with your kids?
My oldest boy, right, which was with a previous partner, I wasn't with her long, but obviously she became pregnant, and I didn't know that this was my son at the time. That's another fucking story, but let me tell you. But anyway, I send money every year for my grandkids, you know, for their birthdays, for Christmas, and for Easter and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? I don't see him as much as I'd like to, and as much as, you know, he would probably like to see me seeing them. But like, it always been like with me with working nights and stuff like that always thing, you know, knackered me up. And but like I just say to all my kids, I'm you. You know what I mean? I am you for you. If you ever need me, you might not see me. You know what I mean? But I am you for you, no matter what. Like, same as like my youngest boy now. Him and his partner, they just had our grandson now, and they brought him over. I mean, they haven't been over for a while. She hasn't been well, like, 'cause she had a section. But you know, it was my granddaughter's birthday yesterday. She was 4, so she come over the day before, and you know, like, that's things like that. Then, like, you know, I holding my grandson in my arms, and you know what I mean. To think, like, you know,
that might not have been.
It's crazy. Like, it is absolutely crazy. The things that you think to yourself, things could have turned out so much different. It's crazy. Like, you know what I mean. Like, I can still remember now, right, and it'd kill me. We struggled that Christmas when I got to hospital, my heart attack, right? And I sat down on the settee, and they were all looking at me, saying, "Dad ain't right, is he?" And I wasn't, because I couldn't get him nothing for Christmas and that. So, you know what, my kids sat down, said, "Dad, we got you for Christmas.
Aww.
We don't need nothing else." So that killed me, like.
They've got that from you, though.
But that killed me then. That spurred me on to think, look, I can't have him in that predicament again.
Seeing you like that.
Yeah, seeing me like that, like, you know what I mean? So I had to try and be stronger, not just for myself, but for them as well. And I still try on now, like I said, after having strokes in me and stuff, and I still going, it's still an ongoing thing now, like, you know what I mean? And for that, knock me back and try and build myself back up again, like, you know what I mean? And I'm just glad that it is a group like this, and I do go on my walks. It
sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's brilliant. The boys there are brilliant, like, I gotta be honest, good, really good bunch of boys, like, and that's why I'm glad that I'm there, like, and that's why I'm glad my brother's there as well, like, because, you know, we've made some good friends there now. We go on our separate things with them as well, so we do our own little walks as well, go to a cafe, have a coffee and chat, like, you know what I mean? If anybody's feeling shit, you know what I mean, we have a chat with each other, try and lift each other's spirits. And
brilliant.
You know what I mean? So there's always things like that, like, but I've always tried to be like that anyway, as much as I can, like, if I can. But
do you have bad days still?
Oh, I still have bad days, man.
And what do you do to get past them?
I think it's just when I go on my walks, sometimes I listen to music, and sometimes it depends what music and what mood I am in, but I'd try and reminisce back to when like I was in like with my auntie and my grandchild and stuff, and some of the music, like when my uncle and my auntie used to take me to Devon, and some of the music you used to listen to in the car.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, all like 60s, 70s and stuff like that, like, you know what I mean? So I just put a 60s, 70s, 80s mix and that on. I do, so I'm listening to all eras, like, you know what I mean? So that'll kind of get me going with the walking as well, and being out and just having to sit on a mountain, like, and just thinking, look, I wouldn't see this beautiful place if I wasn't young. I gotta be stronger, like, you know what I mean? I can't be digging back down in an hole to what I was before. I gotta keep on going, and that's I try to keep this mindset now that I just gotta keep on going. It's hard. It'll fucking kill me sometimes to do,
Yeah.
but I know I just gotta grab
How long
myself.
have you been on the up for now?
I'm gonna say since our calm, which was about 5 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, since he took his life 5 years ago, and then like I said, I started all the walking and everything. Um, Things started improving, and I started getting and appreciating things a lot more. And no matter what it is, like, I try and appreciate as much as I possibly can, and especially like my family, my wife, and and all bits, all around, like, you know what I mean, like my brother and my sisters, and like, even though I'm not there with them all the time, they know I'm here, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
for 'em if they need me, like, um, and just my surrounding family. But as hard as I try to, I can't please everybody. I can't be everywhere with everybody, because we got a hell of a family, but it's huge, both sides, like, you know what I mean. Definitely one of the tellies back in them days, was it? But that's what it picked me up, and that's where it started, like. And to get now this year, when I started with the group and I, because like I said, after I had my strokes, I thought I could feel myself going back fucking down
Yeah.
into a rut again, like, my foot is happening again now, and you know what I mean. It's good. Something's not right, like, something just don't want me here. I had to feel to myself, and I'm like, nah, fuck, stop talking stupid, man. You silly, man. You know what I mean? Stop talking to yourself like that.
That is your resilience, like you said.
And it's like as if it's a switch, and it's in my head. Then you go, right, think positive now. Let's move forward. We've had a bit of a blip. That blip is now over. Now we move on.
That's
what I try to do.
priceless.
That's what I try and do.
Just for context, for everyone listening, I had no clue what your story was.
No, you did not.
Because, you said it could take me days to tell you. And 9 times out of 10, I kind of know a bit of the background, but
Yeah.
I knew nothing at all.
No.
So you're so brave to come on and just like open up like that when you don't even know me,
No.
for a start. You don't know what I'm going to ask you. I wasn't expecting you to be this open. So thank you so much.
You're
if there's
welcome.
anyone out there who's gone through what you've gone through,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like on the brink, what's the one piece of advice you'd give them?
Don't keep it hidden. You know what I mean? Talk. There is people out there like myself, you know what I mean, that you can have a talk to, you know what I mean? Don't let it get to the point like where I did. You know, when I lashed out, and
Just angry.
it got to that point where it could have been worse than what the situation was at that time. And don't ever let it get to that point. Try and get yourself out of that dark, because even though people, and you look at yourself, you think, like, it's dark now. Yeah, it is dark, and I've been there, but it is light, and you will be there, like, you know what I mean. You just gotta want yourself to get there, and get the help that'll help you get there. And if I can talk to somebody about it, or have a little chit chat, have a laugh and a joke, you know what I mean, then I'm here, man. I'm here if you want to talk to me, or come to the group, come along to the group, and we'll have a good chin wag, like, you know what I mean.
Will you send me the group details and I'll
I
add
will.
them onto the
Yeah.
end of the podcast?
I will, yeah.
So I've got 3 questions for you.
Okay, go on.
So the first one is, if you could go back, I'm sure you'd give yourself loads of advice. If you could go back and tell your younger self something, what would it be?
That you are worth it.
Oh my God.
Because I know I am worth it. Like, and everybody's worth it. Whoever it is on this earth, you're all worth it. Colour, creed, don't make a difference. But we all got the same blood. We all got our aspirations and goals. You know what I mean? Just keep going. Like, you know what I mean? You haven't got to, you know, you haven't got to keep yourself back, and you know what I mean. People pull you down, and like it happened to me. At the end of the day, like, you know what I mean. You're your own person. You're your own self, and for me, that's what I'd say. Look, yeah, people are being horrible, but it ain't always going to be like that. So
Was there, well, there obviously was a point where you felt like you weren't worth it.
yeah, 100%. And like I said, if I go back, you are worth it. You know what I mean? You are, and everybody's worth it. You know what I mean? Despite what anybody else to say to you, you are worth it. Like,
I'm going to be a mess after this. What's a defining moment in your life? Not one, not the, a.
I think the defining moment in my life, even though there is a few, but I still think it was when I lost my auntie and my grant. I think that was by far.
Was that worse than your mum moving out?
Oh, I mean, thing is, with like I said, with our mum, even she had to go. You know what I mean? That was for her, like, you know what I mean. So back then, I wouldn't have understood all that stuff, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything until I was older. But for me, obviously, yeah, it was because I was there with my auntie and I. You know what I mean?
They were your safe
Yeah,
space.
that was my safeties and my grants, like, you know what I mean. The things we used to do, man. You know what I mean? Like, I remember him washing my hair and nearly fucking drowning me, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I need to breathe, but it was fun, like, you know what I mean? It made it fun. Oh, shut up, come on. You know what I mean? It was just these silly little things, like, you know what I mean? But for me, definitely them moments, because I feel that even though, like, I was going through school being bullied, you know what I mean? People calling me gay and this and that, not knowing the story, not knowing that I was being abused and stuff. You know what I mean? And, you know, I think all that, I think it just made me stronger, like, you know what I mean? Going through school. And all right, I lost a lot of education through it all. I got to admit that, like. But, you know, yeah, definitely that was my defining moment.
Do you realise how amazing you are?
No, I don't think I am. Look, I'm just an ordinary person from the valleys who had a lot of things happen to him. And if I can just give something back to help someone so they don't have to go through all this, then I know maybe that is my purpose. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe that's what my purpose is, that I can just, you know, help one person to not want to kill themselves. You know what I mean? And not want to do things like like I tried to do, like, you know, and know that, like I said, you know what I mean, that you are worth it. Like,
You have not got an ounce of victim mentality.
no, because I think that was pushed out of me at a young age. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
That's done you favours. It's really...
It was hard at the time, but because I didn't have the chance to even think about, oh, you're a victim. Nothing like that
You've
even come into my head, because like I said, we're going through school, being bullied and everything, and trying to keep myself strong, head strength, like, you know what I mean, not like giving up to a man. Even though, like, I used to let him hit me and things, like, you know what I mean, and do things and not hit back. I didn't, like, I just couldn't. Like I said, I was afraid. I wasn't afraid of them.
No,
I was just afraid of what I would do.
Yeah.
That was my biggest concern, and it come out after. Like, you know what I mean. It took that time, all that them years, for it to come out. Like, you know what I mean. And I regret it now. You know what I mean. I really do regret it. At the time,
I don't think there's many people who would say that you shouldn't have done it. After everything you've been through,
no, maybe
it
not.
has to come out some way. Don't hate yourself for it.
No, I don't hate myself.
Good.
It is that I don't like what I done. I don't hate I can
But you
never
can
hate
understand why, at least.
Yeah. And some people might not understand, like, you know what I mean? But for me at that time, that particular moment on that day, that had to happen.
It happened.
And it had to happen. It had to
Caged
come
animal.
out. Yeah, it had to come out. It had to. And like I said, I don't like what I done. I don't agree with what I done. But it had to happen at that particular time, like. And that was it. Like, I couldn't do no more.
What's one film, a podcast, or a song, or a book that you think someone should read, listen to, or watch? Just one.
No, I've got loads of films, right? I really have, like, that have helped me over the years.
Yeah.
For memory, more than anything. Memories, to keep my memories going all and all. But if it's one film, I think somebody, and it hit me now today, it is still hit me now, after all these years. The one film, let me think, because there's so many. It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, it's my favourite Christmas film.
That one. 100%.
It's the old one, obviously.
Yeah, the black and white one is when that is at the end, look, that'd kill me, look. When she was, every time bell rang, an age, that'd kill me, look.
It's a beautiful film.
And everybody needs to watch that, because obviously you got George Bailey going through
Was mental health.
all the shit that he's going through, and then to nearly losing the bank, and you know what I mean, and everything, and yeah, it is, you know what I mean. When you actually sit and look and think about the film, you know what I mean, then you look back and you go, oh, I can see some of me in all that, like, you know what I mean, different, but
I think it's a beautiful film because of when it was made, and mental health and men's especially was never discussed back then. No. But it's always been a bloody thing.
It's always been a thing, but I think
it's worse for men than women.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because obviously I don't know how the women to think, but for me, it have always been hard to, you know what I mean? To talk about it, like, you know what I mean? Because you're supposed to be a man, like, you know what I mean? And then people say, oh, grow up and stuff like that. And, you know,
that's rife in the valleys, though. That's valleys culture as well. Jonathan said that when he was on.
It is, yeah. That's just the way it is in the valleys, like, and that's the way they've always been, and like, especially with, like I said, like, trying to tell your mom, your dad, and stuff like that, like, you know what I mean? Oh, come on, don't be silly, man, you know what I mean? And stuff, you know what I mean? But that's just how it was back then, like, you know? And I'm glad that it is a lot more of it, and groups like I go to now than what it was back then, because now people can see that, yeah, I did have a fucking problem, man. You know what I mean? So I'm glad I can talk about it now.
I'm sure your story will open up a lot of conversations for people.
Look, like I said, just that one person, and I'm happy, man, like, you know what I mean?
There will be.
I'm hoping so.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're so brave.
I try.
I'm going to go and cry in the toilet for 3 hours now.
I might have to sit in the toilet for 3 hours.
Thank you.
You're welcome.